is the mystical map in Find Your Soul's Purpose a spiral? Have you wondered that? It showed up initially in my deep soul writing, but I didn't really understand the depth and breadth of the spiral because I was simply seeing it on a piece of paper as a two-dimensional form. And so I was invited to see it in a dream. The dream happened at the Kashi Ashram in Sebastian, Florida. I was there with my dear friend and first teacher, Charlotte Starfire, to look at having our first retreat there. And I was welcomed to stay in a room that had a little wooden sign on the door that said Yogi Ji. Walk in, big king-size bed, and right next to the bed, a very large bronze statue of Shiva. Okay. And that night, I had what became 9 months of dreams. Everything that you experience, all the guided meditations in Find Your Soul's Purpose came to me first in very intense, beautiful, mystical dreams that I then translated in deep soul writing, and they became the guided meditations in the entire book. So that night, I'm inside the spiral. I'm looking around, seeing it, smelling it, feeling it, and realizing that it has these 4 loops. So the next morning, Charlotte meets me at the breakfast table, and I'm frantically scribbling in my deep soul writing journal. And I showed it to her and said, do you see? It's a spiral. It's a spiral. It has 4 loops. And I'm going on and on and on about this astonishing experience I'd had in my dream. And Charlotte said, what did you expect? You were in Yogi Bhajan's bed. I was what? I was in Yogi Bhajan's bed, the man that brought Kundalini Yoga to America. So I think you and I can thank Yogi Bhajan and Shiva for this mystical map to remember our soul's purpose. When I got back home, I wanted to understand more about the spiral, so I got this deck off my shelf, Sacred Geometry by Francine Hart, and of course there is a card for the golden spiral. It's called golden because it's the golden mean, the Fibonacci sequence, the mathematical formula for perfection. So shall I tell you a little something about our mystical map of the spiral? Francine writes, the golden spiral is the cosmic representation of ideal balance, universal harmony, and spiritual transformation. The spiral is the blueprint of all nature, and indeed of our humanness, from the double helix of our DNA to the spiral shape of the galaxies. This piece of sacred geometry is container and accelerator of consciousness. Container. The spiral is the container, and that container, that perfect Fibonacci sequence, you can cut out this golden mean perfect spiral at my website, is the container and the accelerator of consciousness. Yes, as you walk the sacred spiral, your consciousness will deepen and expand and accelerate. It is astonishing how quickly and magnificently the spiral will carry you all the way back in time until you step out of time to experience the timeless time and the placeless place where you will remember who you really are, why you are here, so that you can create a life you love. Do you have to understand it? No, you don't. It's a mystical map. It's a sacred geometry symbol. It's the construction of the universe. You don't have to intellectually understand it. Just step on, right there. Step on loop number 1 in Find Your Soul's Purpose and discover for yourself the mystical map, the accelerator of consciousness that will carry you so far back in time with such an expanded, joy-filled heart that you will remember who you really are and why you are here. And you'll be so grateful for Yogi Bhajan and Lord Shiva inviting us to walk the sacred spiral, the accelerator of consciousness.